Coming up next, Warrior Woman with Leigh-Anne Williams.
All right, so Leigh-Anne's not in today. It is me. I am the one who's handling business, but I get a great opportunity to chat to a phenomenal woman. Of course, she is, but 'cause she's just a woman. She's phenomenal. But she is our Warrior Woman winner for 2025 in the Education and Research Department. Professor Kareemah Najaar, very, very good morning to you and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. How has the month of Ramadan been for you? Let's talk about that.
It's been peaceful, quiet, and busy. I don't know how else
What
to put it.
everybody hopes to have, right?
Yeah,
No Drua
absolutely.
Dalchis in your life. I love that. Professor Kareemah, you're now the acting head of the Wellness Sciences Department at Cape Peninsula University of Technology. But every journey has had a starting point. Well, it has one. Can you take us back to the very beginning of your career? So what inspired your path into academia and the field of wellness sciences?
That if I go way back to the moment that I knew I am where I belong, it would be just after graduating undergrad.
Yes.
And one of my professors was a mentor of mine, still is, asked me just to teach, if I'd be available to teach a small section, within the physiology modules. I remember getting like a mini panic attack. And but I can say that that day, walking into that lecture venue and just, that old school lecture halls with the dark wood.
I remember them, girl.
And,
I remember.
There's nothing like it. But the moment I started teaching, just seeing those faces light up and just seeing them understand the information I was conveying to them, it was, I think the word is positively intoxicating. I've never looked back.
100%. And also knowing that you have a bit of a role in somebody else's future. That's very important to have.
No, just you could actually, I didn't realize that somebody would actually be able to understand what I was saying.
I think that's our inner monologue, just projecting a little bit. But I think you're amazing, and you wouldn't be because look, here you are in 2026 with an amazing position, and that you're still going strong. Now, I just wanted to get into it. So since 2018, you've kind of been leading powerful STEM-driven community projects supporting life science matric learners from disadvantaged backgrounds. What drew you to start off that initiative, and what gap were you hoping to address in that education system at the time?
Look, it's something we have to be quite honest about, is just how evident the education inequality still is,
Sure.
specifically focused on disadvantaged communities in South Africa. And as a committee member on the admissions committee in my faculty, it wasn't just about observing that students weren't meeting minimum requirements into science, technology, engineering, mathematics programs, but that I knew why. I understood why they weren't meeting minimum requirements. And so the question was always, for me, was what if I was the difference between not meeting and meeting minimum requirements into these programs? What if we're the difference between the A and the B, so that they can qualify to apply for prestigious scholarships or programs and so forth? And that actually is what started it all.
Knowing the why is always very important.
Yes.
And I've got a teenager, and I'm always trying to convey that message. First of all, you have to know self, but then you have to find out why something didn't work, and then go from there and have a little bit of a wider outlook on life. Not be so.
It is about the why at the end. Yes, and then you'll know what the next step would be. How to make it a reality or to try to solve it. Yeah.
If you're just joining us, we're chatting to Professor Kareemah Najaar. Prof, the project has grown into a collaboration between the Cape Peninsula University of Technology and University of the Western Cape, led by women academics. Love that. Now, how important is it for women in STEM to lead and shape initiatives like this, especially in driving that empowerment and representation?
Again, I just want to start with saying something that I think most people really in South Africa don't know is, they don't know is that the distribution of women in academia it's really good. It's it's equal, it's on par.
Large.
Yes. But when you zoom in to specific areas such as postdoctoral candidates, for example, that is where the numbers are significantly lower relative to, and even positions, managerial positions, women are not represented in the numbers that they should be. And that, of course, is a systemic thing that we're trying to address all the time. And what the project is trying to address, so having, for example, women as leaders in initiatives like this, we are the mirrors and reflections for the women who want to take these paths. We be the mentors for them, with inspiration for them. So it makes sense in its own way.
I love that.
Absolute sense.
100%. So they always talk about the boys' club and how these deals they get made on the golf course. And my eldest sister was like, "Oh, bet," and she picked a golf, and she started wheeling and dealing with him too. And so I'm like, yeah, well, sometimes you just need to break the barrier down and you just need to get into it head first, right?
Change up the game. Yeah.
Prof, I've got one more question for you. It's so amazing chatting to you. But for young women who are currently tuned in and listening, and especially to those who are interested in STEM or facing challenges in their education journey, what words of encouragement or advice would you like to share with them today?
I think every time anyone's asked a question like this, it truly is just a reflection of your own journey. Right? And I think for most people who are drawn to science, to the technology, engineering, math, it is not that field that you've chosen. Generally, it chooses you.
Yep.
It chooses you, and for many, you could feel it as a child. If you were lucky in primary school, even before then, you felt something. It was always drawing you in. And my advice to young women who are pursuing this path, who wants to be within this path, is remember that gut feeling. Let that drive you. Every time you go through your challenges, ups and downs, just remember what is pulling you in that direction.
Yeah.
Because within a developing country, we are going to be challenged, and particularly as women, there's so many challenges waiting for us. But remember that gut feeling, what is driving you, what is pulling you.
100%. I love that authenticity.
Yeah.
That what makes you uniquely you. Let
Yes.
that drive you.
Yes.
Prof, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Posthumously, congratulations once again. Professor Kareemah Najaar, who is currently the acting head of the Wellness Science Department at Peninsula University of Technology, and of course our Warrior Woman winner for the Education and Research for 2025.
Feel it. For more, tune in to goodhopefm.co.za.
It's all you need.